Thanks for coming in, my friend. So John and I get to see each other a lot up on Federal Hill, and there's always great things going on the hill, so I never start emphasizing that enough. But Caserta's has been a fixture in Rhode Island and in Federal Hill for how long now?
Well, since 1952.
1952.
1952.
So we went 1948. We're only going a little bit up to 1952. So 48 for Dell's, 52 for you. And have you been on Federal Hill the entire time?
We've been on Federal Hill for the entire time. We started across the street on the corner of Acorn and Spruce. Then we moved across the street to Spruce Street. And we've been there ever since. We've done a lot of renovations over the years. We started with the original building, and then we put an addition on. And then in 2000, we put another addition on. So we just keep on building up, and you know, it's been really nice.
And if you look at it, I'm gonna bring you right over here. So if you look at what's gone on Federal Hill, there's been tremendous changes. I mean, especially since 1952. You've had to see a lot going on up there.
Yeah, well, now I call it the International Drive. I said we have all kinds of stuff going on up there. We have Mexican, we have Indian, we have a lot of things going on. But it's still a nice place to come. It's you know, it's great. It's good for all of us. You know, the businesses, we all prosper from each other. So yeah, it's a great place to come up, take a walk, and
it's true. I mean, strolling the hill, no matter what's going, you know, what's up there now, it makes it a little more diverse and everything. But strolling the hill is great. And you know, from the perspective of where you're located, you kind of hit that point where you can still go two ways on Spruce Street back there, and you've got the parking lot, so it helps out a lot.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of thing that I see people even in the summertime, springtime, starting to walk around with the falls, going and sitting in Deep Pasquale Plaza,
absolutely,
going to St. John's Park. But you kind of created your own model. So give us a little bit of the background of what, you know, how this came about in 1952.
Well, we bought this in 1981, and it was started by a father and son, and they did it until 1981. We took it over, and we just made it a little bit bigger. I don't want to say we made it better because I didn't change anything.
Okay.
You know, we had the original dining room, which was small. People used to wait outside. It was, you know, it was difficult. But then we put an addition on, and it was a lot nicer. We made some upgrades. We put a parking lot. Then we bought another piece of property, made it a bigger parking lot. So now when you come up there, you don't have to pay for parking. You come park in our lot, eat, enjoy yourself, even take a walk if you'd like, and then just come back and move your car.
Move your car. You always need more spaces. You got to move the car.
Yeah, but you know, I haven't changed anything since you know, the inception, with the exception of the pepper pig, which we introduced back in the 80s, and a salad, which we just introduced, which I forgot, but we introduced that a couple of years ago. But the gist of it is we have pizza. We have two sizes, a small and a large, 6 and 12 pieces.
Okay.
We have a pig in the blanket, piece of Italian sausage without peppers. We have a pepper pig with green peppers. We have our plain spinach pie. And then what we're known for is our Wimpy Skippy, which is a spinach pie stuffed with cheese and pepperoni.
Look at
and
that.
It's become very, very popular. And the name Wimpy Skippy is actually two gentlemen who were very close friends with the former owner. And they were single at the time, and they used to go out, and the man, Paul, he would have to come to work, and you know, it'd be like early in the morning, and he'd say, well, we get one of those spinach pies, let's open it up and throw some cheese in there, throw some pepperoni in there, and they would call it a spinach special.
Okay.
And then as they got more and more popular, he said, well, why don't we call it the Wimpy Skippy? And that's how it became the Wimpy Skippy.
Just
special.
From that story.
Just from that story. That's it. These guys were confirmed bachelors in their 50s. And awesome. This is how they did it. You know, he said, we didn't have any money at the end of the night. He said, so we used to come and we used to eat here.
So the Wimpy Skippy came from two bachelors. There you go.
Correct.
Now you've got the history on
Absolutely.
it. So this has become something, and again, I go back to the conversation I just had talking about Dell's, is that Caserta's is known all over the place. I mean, you still, even no matter how big you make the place, you still have lines that I will see coming out of Caserta's on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
We've been fortunate. I call us a destination. I put us on the same as Wright's Farm and Twin Oaks. Even, you know, Oneyville Hot Wieners, we're a destination. If you want it, you've got to come to us. It's much easier for us to keep everything under one roof.
Right.
And it's much easier to control. Our staff does a great job. You know, they're the ones that do all this. I'm the face in front of it, but they're the ones who do all the, you know, they do the baking, they take care of all the making up. But it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride.
How many different types of pizza can they order? I know you said you got the sizes, but how many different types?
Again,
that you guys
I call it simple stupid. We have 2 sizes, small and large, and then we have 5 items. We have cheese, pepperoni, mushrooms, olives, and anchovies.
So you can make it
That's
any way you want with
any
those
way
5
you
items.
want, but that's all you're going to get. There's no onions, no peppers. No, we don't do it that way. But that's it. It's very simple. It's a simple.
That's traditional. Though. What's kept
it's
up
traditional.
the tradition for
It works. We're probably one of the last few actual pizzerias in the country that just serve pizza and pizza products.
Right.
We don't sell pasta. We don't sell burgers. We don't do any of that. We've been fortunate. Don't get me wrong. We do a nice job, and I think it's a testament to us.
But I think even, you mentioned 1952, then 1981 when you came in. Keeping up the consistency is what I think has helped keep your notoriety and everything going. I had listen, the aromas are driving me crazy right now, but I had comments on Facebook, people sent me a message just by your sauce, about the gravy that goes onto everything. So it's like
we don't change anything.
Right.
When you have something good, you don't change it. We use the same tomatoes, the same pepperoni, the same cheese. We buy it locally. Supreme Dairy. We have margarita pepperoni. We use Marzala Royal. And we use Pastine tomatoes. We've not changed that since we've been there. There's no reason to change it. Yes, it gets a little bit more expensive, but if you try to cheat it, it's not going to work.
And I think there's some people that doing that. You've kept in business over the years. Seriously, you've kept that sincerity going and kept some of these people in business, especially sourcing locally is a fantastic thing. But you also have this tradition of being not just known for Federal Hill, but being supportive locally. There's so many school groups, different tour groups, different things. I've seen buses pull up to Caserta.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we have a bus coming tomorrow. We have some school kids coming. We have school children come. We have senior citizens come. We'll take anybody that is willing to come in, and we treat them, we treat them right. And we don't gouge anybody. We just want to make them comfortable.
So being on the Hill, and the Hill is always a fascinating, interesting place. Like you said, it's become more diverse, but your clientele on the Hill is always pretty interesting as well. Being there since 1981, you've had to seen some pretty interesting things yourself.
We've had some pretty interesting customers. We had Tim Daly from Wings. He's been in. He loves the Wimpy Skippy. Awesome. We've had Regis Philbin. He's come in. We've had other people. Dustin Hoffman's been in. So we've had different people come in, but then we have the locals. We have the local people from Federal Hill that come in, and they're always, again, if you come there, you have to. It's a show. It's a show.
Well, I can say that, one of my favorite things, it's set up very comfortable. It's like a traditional pizzeria. You've got, the tables all spread out that you can do it. And then, there's people that are coming in and taking it out and going. But I have to say that if you're sitting in there, it is probably some of the best people watching you that you could come up with. From guys in suits to, politicians to families to, you have to have seen a lot.
That was my biggest concern when we first did we did a redo of the pizzeria, of the dining room. And I would stay up at night thinking, am I doing the right thing? Because it was always comfortable. And I wanted it to be comfortable. We have judges that come in. We have attorneys that come in. I have construction workers that come in. And I want them all to be comfortable. I want them to come. I would tell people, go ahead, move the tables. Don't worry about it. We can put them back. It's not a big deal. I have hockey teams come in. It's a great place to come and enjoy yourself. I really urge everybody just to come up. Come there, have it there, enjoy yourself.
And there's another special thing, and just speaking from my experiences now, is that I came here in the 90s, and now we're into the 2020s soon, and I've had my children, and I've gone there. You have to have seen different generations that have made this part of their a Friday night thing or a Saturday night thing.
I've had many families come in. Matter of fact, we have families come in with the carrier, put it on the table, and then that child grow up and come. We had one particular family that they had a son and a daughter. The daughter the son loved the pizza. The daughter wouldn't eat it. And she didn't start eating the pizza until she was like in her teenage years, and it was like crazy. And they would tell me, we finally got her to try it. And she wouldn't have it. She wouldn't have it. But we have a lot of families. We have a lot of good people who come through the doors.
Now, I was talking to Joe from Dell's about the different people that come to visit the state and the things that are still stand out as unique. Like the Wimpy Skippy, you're not really going to find that in many other places to go across.
It's funny you mention that, because just before I came here, 5 women came in, and they were looking at the menu and everything, and I said, where are you from? And they said, well, we're from Louisiana. and they're here on a teachers conference. And so we, I said, well, they had the Wimpy, and when I was leaving, I said, how'd you like it? They said, we're coming back.
Just for that.
We're coming back.
But that's what I mean, is that you've kept that originality to it. And I was mentioning to Joe Dells, and I'll mention to the rest of the guests, is that convention groups, tourism groups, hotel people coming in, they've expanded the base of the tradition, so to speak, that when they're coming back or telling people that are coming to visit the state, they're making a recommendation saying, oh, you got to go to Caserta on Federal Hill.
I've got a lot of people that have been, they're Rhode Islanders, they've moved away, and then the first thing they do when they come home is like, this is the first stop we made.
Right.
We have to have our Wimpy Skippy, and we didn't even go home yet. And or they'll tell me, my parents don't even know I'm home yet because we had to stop here first.
That's awesome.
So it's been really nice. Again, we try and do the best we can. We do a good job, and we just want to make people happy. That's all.
So before I let you go, there's two last questions I got to ask you. And one that was driven to me on there is about people saying, okay, I get there and I got to get in line. I got to plan my strategy better for this. There's got to be those days of the week where you're telling people, call and place your orders in advance, right?
Well, we would ask you to call in advance all the time. The worst days are really Super Bowl Sunday, the day before Christmas, and Halloween. Okay. Those are crazy days. You should always try and get your orders in, and then we just make it a lot easier.
Now, the last question, and this is kind of the fun question to go with it, but you're around this all the time.
All the time.
And you can walk up and down the hill and go to your favorites and see everybody, but you enjoy your own product. So what are your combinations of things that you like to enjoy?
My perfect pizza is a plain tomato pizza with some light pepperoni, well done, almost burnt.
Wow.
It's absolutely fabulous. If you love pizza and you love, the taste of the tomato, that's what you got to do. You go with a plain pizza.
Okay.
Just, me, I go heavy oregano, but that's what I enjoy. That's what I enjoy, But I enjoy all the pizza, and I do still eat the pizza at least 4 times a week.
And I can say I've seen him. I've gone in there and I've seen him eating the pizza, so it's very true. And it is a nice thing, and the rest of the community. And I ask you that because it's funny. A waiter asked me to ask you that from the Hill, but it's. The Hill supports each other, and there's enough of especially wait staff, owners of things like that. They're taking their breaks, coming to your place and being able to relax and enjoy it.
The girls today, they went to Tony's. There have been nights when we've gone to Harry's.
Right.
We go to Chef Ho's. We go to Roma. They go to Pane Vino.
Yeah.
They do all of them. They do all of the restaurants. We all help each other.
And it's vice versa. I've seen, the person that asked me to ask you this was a waiter at Zuma that said, ask him what his favorite is because I go over there. So
it's funny. Camille's comes in every Saturday. Camille's restaurant buys pizza for their wait staff every Saturday.
I went to a tasting at Gasparo's on the Hill,
Yep.
a wine tasting, and they had ordered the pizza, and I was like, yes, this is great.
It's a good. It pairs well with some of the wines.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. So Kate was joking around me earlier about you got some wine to go with the pizza. There's never a bad wine to go with a piece of pizza, no matter what it is. So
it's all good.
And I can tell you that the Wimpy Skippy goes really nice with a nice Pinot Noir. I can honestly tell you that because I've done it. So, John, thanks for making the time. I really appreciate you coming in today. Congratulations on the success, and thank you for being a big part of the Hill.
Thank you.
You will see me eating some of this afterwards for sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So now we went from Cranston to Providence. We're going to stay in Providence a little bit, Federal Hill, going off the hill a little, and we're going to, come on in. We're going to come on. We're going to get Greg going.